I like niggas that got their dress code together, man. You know, I should step my shit up.
You know, do some LA shit.
It's all good.
I met him once, nigga shot me the real. He said, get your paper player, fuck how they feel. Mink to the ankles, baby gators to the flow. Respect real niggas, never trust no hoe. When you bust, squeeze a trigger to the motherfucker glow. Then he said his name is Ice and he hit the dough. That's real talk. That's real talk. That's real talk.
Alright, special edition Real Talk 2005 is Charlemagne. Man, Dante's still in the picture. Let's not forget him. You know. But you know, this man needs no introduction, but I'll let him introduce himself anyway.
I'm Ice-T, aka Iceberg. You know, a good friend. You know, this is one of my loved ones right here. This is Charlemagne. You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm here, because it's my nigga.
Alright, recognize. Now the thing is, we all know Ice, but let's get to the real Ice. Let's see what's popping. Got a couple of questions. He's not just a gangster. You got to understand the whole mentality. He's a gangster worldwide. You know what I'm saying? It's on all levels. So let's just get right to it. Now a lot of people don't know this about you, Ice. Like you were one of the first. I remember I got this myself. That you did like a whole album, and you did a video for every song.
Yeah, that was the OG
so the
album.
Process of that.
That was the OG album back in the days when I was, you know, doing records. I was on my, I think OG album was my 4th album. I did Rhyme Pays, I did Power, the Iceberg, and then I came with the OG, and I asked the record label for a budget, and they gave me like $100,000, and I shot a video to every song on the album. I just ran around with a tape recorder, just, you know, guerrilla style, and then we had a couple of videos in there, you know, OG and a couple of other ones. We put it all together, and I wanted the record label to release the video prior to the record.
Right.
I was like, release the video. They were like, nah, people ain't gonna buy the record. I'm like, well, they're gonna have to, but they couldn't understand my visual. Right. They didn't understand my vision, so to speak. They didn't take it seriously. I wanted to drop the first rap movie, like, you know, and the album came out. It went platinum, and the video actually sold a couple 100,000. No, about almost 100,000. And that's a lot for a video.
I think that was incredible. It was unprecedented. I think he was one of the first to do it. So you gotta give the man props. And let's even go back a little further.
If you want it, you can go to like Amazon.com. It's called the OG video, and you can hunt it down someplace. You know, on Warner Bros.
You gotta see that. It's incredible. Like I said, it was unprecedented for its time. Now let's go back a little more to the Power album, which is my favorite Ice-T album. I think a lot of people like just now graduating to a lot of things you said on it, like High Rollers.
Yeah,
you did a video for that. You had Power. What's my other one? The one where you used that heartbeat sample. I forgot. Now I'm gonna make it a little fun.
Oh, that was Heartbeat. That was actual Heartbeat. I got sued for that.
Really?
Yeah. That was actually the Heartbeat. Yeah, the Heartbeat sample I got sued for about war. Thank you a lot. Yeah. I didn't have the money to give back to y'all. But yeah, I've been through it with the sampling clearances and everything about that. But that was.
You got some more questions? Yo, pull up the chair, man.
Yeah. The Power album was just the first record where I really knew people were listening. You know, when I do Rhyme Pays, I was like, okay, I'm gonna try to make a rap album. You know, I'm a more modest cat. I know what I can do, and then I know what I'm trying to do. Right. I knew how to hustle, but I didn't know if I could make rap records. Right. So when I stepped in the game, it sold, and I was like, oh shit, you know. So I came with Power, so I was a little bit more focused on what I was trying to say. But I've always been the kind of rapper that's like, I want to give you some kind of information. I'm not just going to sit up and floss and talk about how great I am. It's like, let's try to spread the game. That's how I learned the game.
That's my favorite album right there, Power. Y'all got to pick that up and understand what I'm talking about. You had, then you had another album, You Played Yourself. Remember that song, You Played Yourself?
You Played Yourself was on the Iceberg album.
Right, and which Nas used. And the reason why I bring that up is a lot of rappers now use stuff that you've done before, like the 99 Problems. Right. You don't know that, yeah, you're one of the original, you are the original.
Yeah, I wrote the song. The actual song 99 Problems and the Bitch Ain't One, actually the idea came from Brother Marquise from 2 Live Crew.
Okay.
And I was hanging around him, and one time we was talking about Whoop, There It Is. And he was like, man, I've been sitting in Magic City all this time, and every time the girls bend over, the DJs go, whoop, there it is, you know? And he's like, I'm sitting right there, and I didn't make that record. He said, that was the phrase that pays, right? Yeah. So right after he said that, he goes, man, I got 99 Problems, and the bitch ain't one. I said, what? I said, oh, come on, man, we got to make that record. So we made that record. On the B-side, I mean, Marquise was rapping with me on it, but as the story goes, from what I understand how Jay-Z ended up remaking it, Chris Rock is an Ice-T fan. He turned Rick Rubin onto it, and Rick Rubin hollered at Jigga.
Okay.
So Jay-Z remade it. But, you know, that's just part of the game. I mean,
I just think it's like homage because the reason why
I would like Jay-Z to say my name a couple times. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if I remake a nigga record, I'ma say his name, throw some love to Ice-T. But it's all good. I love Jay-Z, and it's not a problem and stuff. You know what I'm saying? But they say those who say don't know, and those who know don't say. So,
well,
I mean, I'm not supposed to be on here blasting my own horn. It's like, cool.
Right, but it's all good. But the reason why I say that, because I need the other generation that's coming up to understand, like, where all the stuff is coming from. Other thing, like I said, the James Brown sample, you played yourself. Now I used it for, what's it, Get Down, Don?
Get Down, Get Down.
For the Get Down. So I see, like, two of the premier...
Well, you know what else?
lyricists.
DMX used the high rollers.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. A lot of people don't know where it's from, and that's why I had to let them know.
High Rollers was on what album?
That was on Power.
That was on Power. High rollers. I mean, me myself, man, it's like right now the rap game is so, I hate to say old, but it is. I mean, literally, I was in Bahamas the other week, and a little girl, she might have been about 12 years old. You know, she walked up and she said, "What record you make?" And I'm like, "Colors?" I was like, well, you know, since I never got radio play, I was like, I know you can't hear my records. I said, baby, I was making records before you were born. And I was like, damn, it's been that long, you know? So
True.
A lot of this stuff came out before a lot of these young kids was born. That's deep. It makes you feel like Frank Sinatra or some shit.
In a sense, but I'm saying you're an OG in this game. And like I said, it's just proper due. And you just brought up Colors, which is what I was going to bring up next.
But the rap game, in the rap game, we all got a short attention span. You know what I'm saying? It's like whatever is hot right now, that's what everyone relates to. You know?
But I think it's you got the listeners, then you got the people in the game. You know, like the producers and all that. I think they know what's up. You know what I'm saying? I think all the producers, they going through crates, so they definitely going through rap crates too. The average fan
don't know. You know what I'm saying? What was hot 5 years ago?
Nah,
And
they don't.
You know what I'm saying? You bring out the same beat, you're like, yo, that's hot. You know what I'm saying? I never heard this before. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's almost like we could do Rare Grooves raps now. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And bring it back. But I mean, my thing has always been just enjoy it. You know, when I got into the rap game, it wasn't really to make no money. It was just to enjoy it, to enjoy saying something and to entertain people. You dig?
Right.
So, fortunately for me, I've been able to do that, and I ain't got no bitterness in it whatsoever. You know, I'm like blessed when I hear a nigga using my words. When I see Master P redo 6 in the morning, I'm like, that's fly. He must have liked that, right? You know, but it ain't no problems here. You know, I'm rolling with it. I'm happy. I'm working on a new album, so I'm not tripping.
Well, let's talk about Colors. Like, now with the gang activity in New York, you know, how did that song come about? When you did it at the time, I mean, no one was addressing the gangs in LA.
I had a record called Squeeze the Trigger on the Ryan Pay's album, and Dennis Hopper and them wanted to put that on the Colors soundtrack, and they gave me a pre-screening of the actual movie, and I looked at it and I was like, oh, I could write a title song. Now if y'all want some hip-hop trivia, if you got the Colors album, go to the B-side of the album. The last song is a song called Colors by Rick James. It's called like, look at all these colors. It's like Rick James or something. I'm like, no, that's not it. So I was, you know, involved with the gangs, and I said, you know, I could write it. I'm rolling 60 Crip. So I said, you know, I'll write you a record about real gang mentality. And I turned it in. They didn't ask me for it. I just turned it in. And it took off from there. I did the video and kind of hipped the nation to the gangs in L.A.
What's your take on the gangs in New York? Like, what do you think about that?
To me, I mean, you got a lot of situations in New York City. You know, you got the jail situation, you know, and, you know, in there you got Latin Kings, and there you got Bloods. I hope New York City doesn't fall back into the rut that LA is trying to dig itself out of. You know, to me right now, no disrespect, but it's like you guys got gangs, but y'all don't have gang banging yet. And gang banging happens when you hear about a whole bunch of Bloods or a whole bunch of Crips getting murdered, like at one time, like a shootout on 42nd Street. And once it escalates to that murder, then you got that retaliation that goes on in real gang warfare. So now it's kind of like I've been out in the streets and I seen Crips walking down one side of the street and the Bloods walking. Like I was talking to this Blood one day and I'm like, make a blood sign. He goes like this, and I go turn it upside down. He's like, what's that? I was like, that's a blood sign too.